1967, a long time ago, was to set up a system of watershed research sites in the upper part of the Little River watershed. So we have 9 gauged watersheds, and this little brochure here, the one that's not quite so colorful, yeah, that one explains some of that. I'll get some of these for y'all too. This is good that I was leaving it out. I could only find one of them. This is old. We actually put this out in 1980, but it's still very good. So we have 9 gauge watersheds. They range in size from about 1 square mile to 122 square miles. So if you go up I-75, as you're going up I-75, to the left is essentially the Little River watershed, and to the right, if as you go up from, well, basically from here, well, really almost the entire length of I-75 and up to Cordele. To the left is the Little River watershed, and to the right is either parts of the Withlacoochee or as you get further up, the Alapaha. At about a little bit north of Ashburn, our northernmost watershed is about 1 square mile, and that watershed is it's actually, most of it is in Little River Plantation, which is, some of you may be familiar with. It's a large local land holding up there, and they've tried to turn it into a hunting plantation and that sort of thing. The landowners have. They've been pretty successful with that. A lot of that watershed is forested. As we come down the watershed, 2 things change. Number one, the confining layer, the Hawthorne Formation, which is underneath these watersheds. So in the upper part of your watersheds, in the upper part of the Alapaha, the upper part of the Little River, and of course the Little River is really the upper part of the Withlacoochee. Since you have the 3 8-digit hydrologic units, okay, the Alapaha, the Withlacoochee, and the Little. They're all tributaries of the Suwannee, of course, and that's one thing I did bring here is a poster that the Suwannee River Water Management District put out a few years ago that shows the entire watershed. And this one has been up for a while in our lobby, and it's gotten sort of faded. But it's real instructive. It's also it's real instructive to look at it and compare it to the rest of the coastal plain. But it's very instructive. So let me digress a little bit. The entire Suwannee River Basin is 10,000 square miles, more or less, and 6,000 square miles of that is in Georgia, and 4,000 square miles of that is in Florida. So your watersheds are actually, I don't know the area of the 3 watersheds in Georgia. I mean, y'all probably do. Your watersheds are essentially the western headwaters of the Suwannee Basin. And that's where we have studied. So we have the 9 gauged watersheds, and by gauge I mean what we've actually done is we've put a barrier, we've put a V-notch weir across each of these streams. And if y'all were interested sometime, you could have a little field trip and come up, and we could do it on a weekend or in an evening during the summer if y'all wanted to do that. We could show you some of these gauging structures. The biggest one is pretty impressive because at that point the stream drains an area of 122 square miles. It can go from the amplitude in terms of the height of the stream there is around 20 feet, so it can go from essentially nothing to 20 feet deep there. And y'all are familiar with these streams, you know what they do.